Today we're going to be checking in on everyone's favorite North American that we have officially claimed, especially considering the fact that he is currently rank 1 in the region ever since getting over to North America, where he could play on slightly better US East ping. He's never really had that poor of US East ping, but we are watching Mr. Diaz. It is Diaz, who is rank 1, or I should say rank 1 NA, but rank 2 in the world in both 1s and 2s. We're going to watch him play a couple 1v1 games against Zapatos. It's been a while since we've seen Diaz play. I'm not sure if he's played in any matches since the Salt Mine. Off the top of my head, I can't necessarily think of any, but he has garnered himself on a tier of his own. Well, I shouldn't say a tier of his own. A tier sharing with Nas. A tier of his own compared to everybody else in North America after winning the most recent Salt Mine, and is going to take a quick dash. Ooh, can he double this in? No, he cannot. But a pretty impressive outplay. And he is known, if for some reason this is your first time watching Diaz, he's known for this, what he's about to do right now, if I had to guess. An air dribble all the way from his back wall, which he does with such ease that it seems like it's no big deal, but I've noticed through looking out for it time and time again now with other pros, they cannot consistently hit it like he does. Now that being said, Zapatos did have it read and will get the demo. Shout out Zapatos for uploading pretty much all of his once replays. I think you can go ahead and check him out on ball chasing because he plays at a very high level. I think he might be top 20 or so, if not even higher, last time I checked his games. And he's the one who uploaded today's games against Diaz. Diaz off the side wall, gonna get a reset. That's not gonna be enough to get past the massive plank hitbox that is Ascentio. As Zapatos making a touch back into the corner, a little wave dash catch. And that flick not really launching off of his Ascentio like you're used to seeing with those plank hitboxes. Wow, what chain dashing from Diaz into the corner to get that challenge, but Zapatos still holding it down on that 50, although he kind of missed the dash himself, which allowed Diaz to turn back in and make a play. A couple minutes in now, and a singular goal for Zapatos, so not a lot of scoring going on in this game, as Diaz going to single jump this ball to this side of the field. Wait, what happened there with Zapatos? It did not seem like he should have gotten beat that easily, but he jumps out wide of the ball. Diaz able to tie it up. Wave dash kickoff from Zapatos. He is like Moxie over in EU in the sense that he really loves his wave dash kickoff, sticks to it almost exclusively. I noticed here we've been watching all on Diaz POV. Normally when we're covering replays like this, we do stay on one player's POV, but you know what? This is the 1v1. We should switch back and forth just like we normally do. Diaz actually going to be the one who guides that one in. And now Zapatos wave dash kickoff, trying to punish Diaz by bringing the ball into the net quickly. Now evading as much as he can. I think Diaz just got to reset the top of Zapatos' car. He's going to wait this out. He thought he was going to get punished. He waited way too long for the 100 boost to spawn, and then he panicked towards the ball thinking that Diaz was going to be rushing to steal it away in order to capitalize on his egregious attempt to wait for boost. First dash from Zapatos. Now launching a flick again that I think was maybe expecting a challenge that wasn't actually there. Awkward landing from Zapatos. He lands sideways. And that's going to allow Diaz to flick it right over the top of him without any worry about him getting back to make a save. 2-2 with a minute 37 left to go. Zapatos faking an approach to the ball. Might actually slow Diaz down there. Give himself a bit of time to recover. Diaz 50. What a save from Zapatos. Can he capitalize now? He's got Diaz on low boost. Playing out of the air. I've always wanted Zapatos to use his aerial game a little bit more whenever possible. But not able to get it finished this time. Bounce dribble from Diaz, low 50. Not as successful as he would have liked. Can't keep it on offense. Does have to take it back into his own back corner, although it is still his possession. And did he just find Zapatos out of position? Oh my goodness, perfect placement. It feels like Zapatos has just made a couple singular positioning issues. And Diaz has been able to get over the top of them. Now Diaz reset in the back corner. landing. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no, Zapatos is letting this one just fall away. Was this even on target? Sorry, I have to check it again real quick from Zapatos POV. Did he... I think he might have missed it. I think he might have missed it completely, and then Zapatos just put it in. But either way, tough break for him as we will head to this next kickoff. Let me fly back to Diaz. Sometimes it does this. There we go. Look at the chain dashes onto the side wall. Oh my goodness. Okay. okay. I promise I'm not going to mess this up again. I didn't know this was coming. We got to go back and watch this one as he grabs the 100 and dashes twice on the side wall before outplaying Zapatos to make it 5-2. With 40 seconds left to go. Zapatos going to need every single kickoff here. As Diaz flipping out of his pre-jump, it would seem, to try and get into his corner. Oh my goodness, the speed from Diaz is going to beat Zapatos, and he has just turned it up a notch here with 23 seconds left to go. Zapatos needs probably a cheese kickoff, some kind of delay, something straight to the net. But he just loves his wave dash kickoff. He's going to stick to it pretty much every time. Doesn't really delay it too much either. We've seen him get countered a bit when he insists on sticking to it. He's going to have to, be able to work in a wider array when it comes time for the North Americans to play in the RLCS, which, by the way, is something I'll talk about with Diaz here at the start of the next game. But this one is over. Diaz is going to take it 6-2. Second game between Diaz and Zapatos, and like I mentioned before, RLCS is getting, 1v1 is getting added to the RLCS, which we should be very excited for. But first, it's going to be EU and Sam, and there's a lot of questions about whether or not Diaz would play in Sam or NA, because he is, from South America, has played most of his RLCS career there, but Complexity recently moved over to North America, and I wasn't sure if, just because he's playing 3v3 in NA, is he forced to play 1v1 in NA as well? I was thinking there's maybe a chance that he might play in South America. It's clear that he can't do both because obviously there's be tons of issues with that. But the more I thought about it, although I haven't confirmed with Diaz, I think he's going to have to play NA. Nice dodge to the air triple bump. Because if he were to play Sam, he would have to go back to South America or play on high ping while doing the NA RLCS, because the beginning of the qualifier is during NA RLCS, and I have a feeling he's going to be focusing on that with his threes team, which makes me think that he'll have to just stick around in North America a little bit longer, because assuming the schedule works kind of how it does right now, with EU getting played out first and then allowing for that EU 1v1 or EU and Sam both getting played out, and then that extra week gets used for 1v1. I'm guessing they'll have that be the opposites for this next one, have NA go first, and then once NA is complete, they'll have the extra weekend for 1v1. Ooh, nice crossbar down. Now, the reason why I bring that up is because I bet you, from what I could tell, Complexity usually sends the players back, or they set up their flights to go back as soon as possible after regionals are over. For the case of anybody who's going to be playing 1v1, which, to be fair, his teammates, CRR and Razebull, could both hang in the 1v1. I would wonder if they were not beginning interested. That's a pretty good shot there from Diaz to get his third goal. But anyways, he'll have to stay there a little bit longer. So that's my guess. This is not confirmed with Diaz. I think he's going to be forced to play NA because he won't be able to play Sam. Worst case scenario is for some reason he won't stay in North America long enough to compete in ones. But considering how he is very likely to win it, I have a feeling that he'll stay and that Complexity will help him out with that as he gets a reset shot to make it 4-1 here against Zapatos. This decal is in right now. Listen, I don't know what it is because I don't know items, and I'm not live right now, so I can't just ask the chat who always knows. But if you want to be hip, you got to get this item. It's too bad you can't trade anymore. I don't know if it's in the shop. You might just have to sit around and wait. But everybody is using this decal right now. Best case scenario for you, it's in the current Rocket Pass. Everything is going Diaz's way. These are back-to-back games that were played, the two most recent games. Well, actually, you know what? They're not back-to-back. They were played on different days. But somehow the momentum has followed its way all the way through the previous time that these two matched up against each other, because Diaz seemed to have picked up right where he left off in the previous game. He is obviously the favorite in the matchup between these two. And I guess we've hyped him up enough. We've hyped him up enough that he now just has to make a brutal mistake. and allow Zapatos to get a second goal. This wave dash kickoff was really not cutting it for Zapatos the last time they matched up, and now this challenge isn't going to cut it either, as Diaz, who, when we switched to his POV and looked at his ball cam, it didn't even seem like he really knew that Zapatos was necessarily going to challenge in that moment. Just worked out for him that happened to be an outplay. And now Diaz off the side wall. What are these challenges from Zapatos? I love you, man, but that was not what you want to see from somebody who stands a chance at defending Diaz's dribbles. This is a kickoff win for Zapatos. He needs to find a way to convert it. He's trying to muscle Diaz off the ball and then take it to the other side of the field with no contest, but it's not going to happen. Diaz going for the ground psycho. Ends up just lobbing the ball to Zapatos, but he just feels so comfortable in the air. Every time the ball goes up, Diaz doesn't seem to be worried about Zapatos finding a way around him, and he's been able to counter him just way more often than Zapatos should be allowing, and he might just have to back off. It's something that Zapatos has done for a long time. It's been a while since I've really looked at his gameplay closely, but he's always wanted to stay on ball no matter what kind of boost he's on. He can be a total pest to play against, but of course it can lead to finding yourself in way too deep and not being able to handle counterattacks. Now, that was a great shot from Mr. Shu as he gets a reset catch and now a kickoff goal. With a minute 42 left to go, he's not counting himself out. And certainly, my experience watching ranked games is players count themselves out much faster than they do in show matches. So Zapatos really still being a believer, or just has a great improvement mindset, knows that a game against Diaz is a great opportunity to learn in very many ways. This time, Diaz is going to try a very fast aerial, not from the back wall, but instead from on his back line. And he just put so much pace on it that by the time Zapatos recognized that it's going to be, you know, a speedy full field dribble, he's kind of playing for underneath the ball defensively instead of out in front of it. Ends up resulting in a much worse challenge, although he's going to convert for a goal right back on the kickoff to keep the deficit at 4. Can he close the gap at all to give himself a real chance? We are approaching the amount of time that you'll see the top players time waste a little. And, you know, if it wasn't for this being Diaz, you maybe think he's time wasting right now, but he just loves his sidewall dribbles and his back wall dribbles so much that he'll do them almost any time. But I would say the way he took that dribble where he basically didn't approach Zapatos at all, he just let himself float at the midfield, that is a switch up from how he normally plays it. So probably baiting Zapatos in for that bad challenge. And now thinking about going into the corner to pick up 100, Zapatos wants to punish and try to use his signature dash in order to do it. But he's not going to be able to. Pre-jumping Diaz. Diaz up over the top. Zapatos with this last bit of boost does tap it to the back wall and double it out of danger, but Diaz got the 100. And now Zapatos got to defend on very little boost, but he did exactly that. Great clear. A really high bounce on his zap dash, but if there's anybody you can trust not to mess it up, it's going to be the guy it's named after. Can he get a ground pinch for a goal? Yes, he can. It looked like Diaz actually should have gotten back, but it does fall in. With 14 seconds left to go, you got to think Diaz winning this ranked game for multiple reasons, including he's ranked 2 in the world. You don't usually get there by losing too many games. And Diaz is going to win this kickoff. Go for a double. That should bounce its way in. 11-6. I wonder, is Zapatos going to play out these last 3 seconds, or does he forfeit here? It looks like he plays them out because we are watching it. Caught Diaz. Wait. And there you go. That's why you play them out. You never know what kind of goal you're going to get. Diaz tried to fake the kickoff to some degree and just gets a no touch. Now he's not even going to go to the ball. He knows he's won. Goes to the ceiling. He lets Zapatos get one more. Zapatos 2 freebies at the end, but Diaz still wins by 3. A great performance from him, and I think he's got to be the favorite to be North American's representative, which, you know what, I don't mind. We have fully accepted Diaz. No longer Brazilian. He is red-blooded Texan. Am I right?